the story so far.
Before you know it, waves overwhelm the Viola.
As if the spaceship's real and Brighton Pier is real. If these things are here because we're here, have we got any control over them?
You might be able to exert some control over their shape. 1 year ago, 4 colleagues of yours were working aboard the cruise ship Prospero. When the ship sank, they were washed up on a remote island. 3 of the 4 came back.
I'm not a climber, and it's just going to take it completely out of me. I'm just exhausted by the time I get to the bottom.
I like that. You see lava spewing down the sides of the volcano.
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we're all merely players. Having fallen and taken a serious harm, is there another flashback on this island for me? This seems to be the way that my characters always get hit.
I mean, if you feel like the way the exhaustion manifests for you is that your brain goes out of the current situation and you're just in denial about the oncoming lava and exhaustion, and instead you come to dwell on how that ship and that skull could possibly be there and what they might mean and why they seem so familiar to you, then potentially you can roll something for that if you'd like.
Yeah, I haven't had a mystery magnet yet for sort of thing. This seems like an intense situation where maps, I'm not exactly I'm pretty fuzzy brained. Yeah. That kind of exhaustion kind of level you're at where I probably haven't even noticed the lava, to be honest with you. I don't suppose my vision is all that sharp.
You've been compartmentalising up till this point. You had that one weird moment where you first saw the steamship and you've just been deliberately not thinking about it since.
Yep.
But now your brain is so fuzzy that it sneaks up on you. Roll resolve.
Ooh, even though he's exhausted.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, that's really a 10, even with a -1.
Wow.
Ask 2 and answer them yourself.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You get to define what this mystery means.
Oh, blimey. Oh, wow, okay.
If you want discussion, then we can all contribute, but ultimately you're the one who gets final say on what the answers to these questions are.
Okay.
Pick 2.
I think one of them is the connection to other mysteries we've discovered. And I think also what it could cost to turn it to our advantage.
That would be
like what can we get from these things to help us? I think those 2.
So there's only been 2 mysteries, so it'll be what ties the steam paddle with the map, right?
Yeah, and this third one, I guess, of me having quite a visual memory of me falling. So I guess connecting them all together, these seem like I guess the connection is that they seem like memories.
They seem like things that happened to you, but you don't remember them happening to you.
Yeah. But it also seems like that we have some sort of control over them. Like there is, like some of it went away, like they seem to be real but malleable.
You seem to have some sort of influence, I would call it, rather than control.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So maybe that's about what it would cost to turn it to our advantage. Maybe like in this weird state, there's knowing that Natalie managed to do something with it. Is there a cost to be able to not to have control, but to be able to somehow influence these things as they happen? And what would that influence cost?
I've got a suggestion for that if you want to hear it.
I would love to.
I think what it would cost you to turn these mysterious artifacts and structures and objects to your advantage is that you have to accept that they are tied to some other version of yourself and some other version of your life. and that to influence them in a way that would help yourself or the others, you would have to effectively give up this version of your life.
So what does that mean, give it up? As in, you would have to acknowledge, it's almost like a shift of frame of mind, where you would have to embrace the version of your life that this thing came from. Yeah.
And that would mean that would become your real life. And this one that you're in now would become like a dream or a reflection. But that in doing that, you could, for instance, like restore the steamer to full working order, including its radio.
Yeah.
But that this version of you here on this island with these three might vanish.
Sure. Okay, then.
If you're happy with that, because you have narrative control over what the answer to that question is, so you can decide that it's something different if you prefer.
No, that is cool.
But at this point, you've only asked the question.
Yeah.
Not necessarily actioned the answer.
Okay. I'm only thinking because if giving myself up to this and it does a thing from these other lives or other versions of myself, giving myself up to the one that's just happening. Last time I was in this situation, a helicopter turned up and rescued stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is a moment where essentially, maybe I can turn it in, like, in a helicopter to get you guys out of here.
Let's have a little nap now. Bedtime. Yeah. Oh, we've got to eat the chickens first, haven't we?
Yeah, let's eat
The
these
magpies.
delicious birds.
Have you plucked them?
Yep.
Lovely plucked magpie.
Yeah.
I've got a lovely fire going.
Pop them on the fire, roast them up.
Does that mean one of my morales is back after that?
Somebody's going to have to roll for that.
Oh, right.
And have you got two? I've got one.
I've got two. Shall I start boosting somebody's morale?
Yes, good idea.
So you've got 2 morale and you're by a fire.
And by a fire, so I've got +3 here. And I'm going to say, Alex, it's all going to be okay. Look how good my splint is.
Have some delicious chicken, not chicken.
That is loads. 12.
You both gain 1 morale.
I can't get any more.
Yeah, you're already at max.
Brilliant.
So
Nice. Anyone else want a boost?
Yes, please.
I'm going to sit down next to him and reveal that I actually have a banana in my pocket.
I thought she was just pleased to see me.
I crushed it.
that's exactly the kind of joke that would boost Alex.
Perfect.
I mean, I'm literally feeling better now.
I'm going to reveal it in a really banana. Right, you can have the last banana, mate, because you got an injured item.
Thank you very much.
The last banana.
7, 8.
Alex gains 1 morale.
Okay.
Yay.
Well done.
I break off. Who am I healing? Is it Vix?
Yeah, try for me.
Okay. I share my banana
Fine.
Well, I'm healing.
Yeah, I know. I did just give it to you. You can do with it like what you want.
Still upset about it, aren't you?
A little bit.
Sorry about that. That is a 11.
Yes.
You both gain 1 morale. Alex, you're already at max. So
Nice. Good to be back at 2. I've been in there since I was in the pit. Or maybe since I fought the Congo eel. Who even knows? I've had an eventful
had a bad day.
And I cleared a pile of fish and plucked some birds. Oh my gosh. Call me Bear Grylls. Okay. I say, really, even though it was a weird experience, I'm really glad that you had that weird experience as well, so that we're all in this together.
You know what? Me too.
Yay.
That's an 11. We're really good at rolling well when it comes to morale.
Just being really nice
We're good
to
at
each
a nice,
other.
We're really
nice
good at-
fireside
I'm
chat.
feeling so left out.
I love our fireside system now of being like, at the end of the day, we get a fire and we just wipe the slate clean of how horrible the day was.
Okay, so a nice little nap.
Good night's sleep.
Nap.
yeah, a much better night's sleep.
Yay.
So restful.
A new day dawns on the strange camp between the slats of the steam paddler wheel. Alex, what's the weather looking like?
The weather's looking pretty good today. There doesn't seem to be any high winds, so I think it could be like this for a little while.
Okay,
I
so
think it's going to be quite nice and quite sunny today.
okay, moderate and sunny. Okay, roll
Instinct.
Yes.
That is a 9.
Okay, your prediction holds up.
Brilliant.
That is what the weather's going to be like today.
Great.
And just a bit of housekeeping. Overnight, I've dried my trousers on the fire, and I'm going to put them back on for today.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you won't
them
look at
yesterday.
the whole day.
Brilliant.
You have to sort of crack them a bit to get all the salt out.
Yeah, they're not their best, but at least they're not wet.
Did we establish whether this lake is fresh water or salt water?
You would know from the accounts of the previous survivors that the lake you're near is indeed freshwater.
Okay, I'm going to fill up the cup.
Yeah.
Trademark. Because if we're not going to get any rain today,
Yeah.
we're going to need that shit.
I think we could try and do two things today, either together or separately. One is try and do a little bit more exploring of the mystery. And by that, I mean we could go and find some things, but also from my thinking last night, I think there is the potential for us, or at least me, to be able to like do something with the objects by like applying my mental energy in the correct way. But I think that could also mean that if we were to go back to the ship in the lovely lake, that we might be able to use that as a way of getting ourselves off the island, which is probably also a kind of... It would be good to find out some more things, but if we could then get that information back to the rest of the world, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
With the whole manipulation of the object, is that exclusively just you, do you think, that can do that? Or could we all give it a crack?
You're pretty sure that anybody could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is there a way that we can use that feature of the island to try and track whether Strat is here or not? Do you think?
Let's give it a try on the paddle steamer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're on one.
Yeah, we've got one right here. Alex, do you want to... I mean, you're the one who has a connection with it.
Yeah, I'll give it a crack. So I... However, because I've got no idea what I'm doing.
Really hard.
I'm just going to put my hands on it, both my hands on it, and ask it, or just in my head.
Just nicely ask it.
Dear paddle boat.
And sort of in my head, start sort of repeating over and over again the phrase, show us Strat, show us Strat, show us Strat, and just keep chanting that over and over in my head and kind of just focusing all of my energy through my hands as much as possible. Like, I've never done this before, but I'm giving it as good a shot.
It's a good go, Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, roll resolve with a +1 because you have a personal connection to this object.
So it's a +2 because I've not another one, a +1 already. Yes. That is a 9.
You can get what you want, but it'll cost you 1 morale, or you can realise that it's going to take that out of you and back off.
I'll take the hit.
As you kind of connect to this object and kind of think back into that mindset of where your brain went when you first saw it and you first had that thought, you feel yourself almost slipping between two states. Between the life that you remember here, where you had a relatively uneventful life until you learned of the shipwrecking of your colleagues and started delving into that mystery, and it's led you here, and between another life where you were a lawman in the Old West.
So cool.
And you realise that this object is connected to that life. Both those lives were real, but you, this version of you, can only inhabit one. And so in order to manipulate this object, you have to almost like acknowledge the Wild West lawman life as real, and that erodes the life that you're in here. And so the loss of morale is almost like, I think you all see Alex start to become transparent. And it's only for a few moments, and he comes back, but he comes back to full solidity, looking kind of drained and weak. And what you see from the paddle wheel is its surface starts to take on like an oily rainbow sheen, like it's covered in a thin oil. And part of it, not the whole thing, but just a section of it, starts to decohere and become almost liquid, and a globule of it breaks off and takes a shape. It's a crude shape, and you see the outline of a 3D model almost of Strat lying on the ground. It's almost like a mannequin. Like it has his shape, but it has no colour, no definition, no features. But it's recognisably Strat. And there is a similarly featureless kind of 3D mannequin cradling him.
Oh no.
And you see, it reminds you weirdly and comically of those weird like Korean TV news 3D construction
Oh
things.
yeah.
So like they're moving in a kind of crude way, and it's almost like a pantomime. And you see Strat's hand come up, and the mouth of the Strat mannequin moves in a way that he seems to be saying something very intensely. And his other hand points up into the sky, and then the Strat shape starts to crumble into thousands of tiny little bubble globules of this rainbow stuff and float off into the air. And then the whole thing just sort of melts into a globule that sinks into the ground. And about a quarter of the paddle wheel is now gone.
Welcome one and all to Merely Roleplayers, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt, your compere for this production of Prospero and Viola Act 9 of 10. While the cast reset the stage for our next scene, let's take a look at what's in the programme. Pod UK, the podcast fan convention, is this Saturday, the 1st of February at Millennium Point in Birmingham. I'll be there in the Podcasters Promenade with Alex of the Viola, sharing table space with our friends from the Kaiju FM podcast network. One of those friends is Chris from the Space Jam Continuum podcast, who you might also remember as Foxglove in Codename Mosaic, our Season 5, and the guest game master of Parallax Inverted, Part 3 of Season 6. And then there's Rob, the man who's made this happen, who booked the space and invited us to share it, the head of Kaiju FM and the host of The Prestige and Triple Feature, among others. The lot of us will be on tables 7 and 8, on your right as you enter the promenade. We'll have a load of blank character sheets with us, so bring a friend to say hello and decide each other's stats Merely Roleplayers style. Also in February, we've got a new season of the Ragged Scratch podcast to look forward to. This is the audio drama work in progress showcase podcast run by Nat of the Prospero and her company Ragged Foils. Every episode gives you 2 new bite-sized bits of audio drama in development, along with interviews with the creators. If you want to get out in front of the next big names in audio, you can't do better. Search for Ragged Scratch in your podcast app and subscribe so you can't miss the new season when it arrives. But first, you're going to want to hear what happens next, or before, as we flash back a year to rejoin the castaways from the Prospero straight after this promo.
Welcome! Are you looking for something different? Something unconventional and unpredictable? An actual play podcast that blends comedy, improvisation, horror and storytelling to create something greater. Perhaps you seek homebrew adventure or the entire retelling of a 5th edition D&D adventure in a way you've never heard before. Or maybe something from the Cthulhu mythos. Then check out Penance RPG. Visit penancerpg.com or join us on social media. We have such tales to show you.
Starkey, Nat, and poor dislocated shoulder Josh stumble up to Strat and find him lying there, like with furrowed brow and glassy eyes, looking super dazed. And for a moment, you think he must be badly injured and have hit his head. but he doesn't seem injured. He just seems like breathing heavily and out of it.
Strat.
Fugue state.
I hand over a handful of honeycomb that I've had stored somewhere, even though I'm just in my pants. Oh, God. Hand it over and say, he's crashing. Feed that to me. And can you sort my arm out, please?
Shove the, sort of like waft the honey under your nose and mouth. Like, dip it on your tongue.
I'll take it and I'll eat some.
Okay, this is really not the time for this, Strat. Like, there's probably a volcano going off, so we need to keep moving.
Can you sort his shoulder and I'll get him back on his feet?
Great, okay, good.
How do I get him? Oh, we've got to feed him, haven't we?
Yeah,
with the honey in it?
he would need to wolf down all the honeycomb you've got on you.
All right. Eat it! I'll shove it in his mouth!
Okay, and are you diagnosing?
Yeah. Oh, God!
Teeth.
That's a fire. What was that intellect that it uses?
What
to
is
do it?
diagnosed? I believe it is intellect, yes.
Okay, so that's a 6.
Yeah, you make it worse. I mean, you can't really make it that much worse.
It's more painful though.
Yeah, you cause him pain, and it is distressing. And he's still at 0 morale and cannot gain more.
God. Okay, Josh. It's okay. So
Tears begin to run down my face.
can I just force it through anyway?
That's all Starkey did earlier, so his poor arm just shot the bloody thing off.
If you can try again, if you can try a different approach, if there's a different way that you try to sort him out.
Okay. So before I was literally trying to be like, right, okay, dislocated arm, I'm just going to crunch it back into place. But this time I'm like, okay, well that's clearly not going to work. So I'm just kind of gently I'm holding you in my arms and gently kind of twisting and coercing and also like stroking your temple and talking all sorts of bollocks, being like, just think like when we get back to camp we've got loads of fish and they're going to be really tasty.
I'm vegetarian, I'm not going to eat any of the fish.
Okay, well we've still got loads of coconut, and I tell you what, it was really amazing. There was this map that we found in a bottle and it was really cool. It's a bit weird. It feels like I've seen it before. It feels like I've seen it before, but I don't know. But anyway, you'll have to have a look at it because it was really interesting.
I think with that, the injury is sorted. You're no longer injured. You're still at 0 morale, but you are now able to regain morale and do stuff.
Okay. I stand up holding my arm and just the tears begin to sort of pour down my face with the pain.
Sorry, I missed the St. John's ambulance course day.
Thank you for climbing down that mountain and pulling me off of it.
Well,
How's Strat?
Yeah, what's Starkey doing with Strat?
I'm sort of like, eat the bloody honey!
I think I made a decision. So, right, I kind of remember all of this, what's happened, and I sort of, through the mouthful of honey, I'm going to look at Chris, and I shall say, when we're in the gravest of danger, our loved ones can rescue us. Poppins protocol. And in the distance, there will be the sound of a helicopter, and I will hold very, very strongly onto Chris, and I will point towards the helicopter. Go to him.
Clive?
Starkey, you look out to where Strat is pointing, and you can see that there is indeed a cargo helicopter hovering above the tree line, being buffeted by the disturbed air currents, the wind being caused by the intense heat of the lava of the erupting volcano. It's being buffeted. It looks like it's going to have trouble actually landing. And then you look back to Strat, and it's like his outline, the surface of him has taken on a sheen, like oil on a puddle, and it moves across him like a slick, as if he's malleable, and small droplets start to bud off and drift upwards into the sky as Strat's form disintegrates into a series of, they look like tiny soap bubbles, but as if they're made of like a heavy metal. It's bizarre. And they drift off into the into the sky.
He's a bloody wizard.
You're the magician all along.
We knew it. I can't believe his last words weren't "get to the chopper."
Oh, he missed a trick.
Oh my god.
That was wild.
So
Blimey,
Strat
Alex.
is gone then. Gone
Yeah.
is the
He's
right
gone,
word.
gone.
Gone in bubble
Gone,
form.
gone.
What?
And some part of the ship boat steam thing
Is also
it's
it's
gone
been used.
by you looking.
Yeah. You made it something else. That was well done. By the way.
Crikey.
Thank you, I
10
guess.
out of 10, but crikey Moses.
I have a little theory, but you guys might have your own. That if part of each of these structures disappears when someone goes, would that explain why it's only half a ship? Or do you guys know something I don't know about the ship?
I think that half of the ship ended up in like a parallel version of reality.
Parallel version.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, fine.
Yeah, but
But then this isn't a whole paddle steamer.
yeah, it's just the wheel. Unless they brought the wheel from the whole paddle steamer that's somewhere else. Because it was the whole of Brighton Pier, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not half of Brighton Pier.
So whether Strat somehow used the rest of the paddle steamer to bubble
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Or if something happened to Strat that made him bubble away.
Because they hadn't explored the part of the island that Brighton Pier's on, so
As far as we know, no.
as far as it wasn't on the map.
It was not on the map. I wonder what Strat was pointing at.
Yeah.
Maybe the helicopter that was coming to rescue them, in which case, terrible timing.
Maybe he made the helicopter.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did.
That's the sort of thing Strat would do. He likes making things.
He does.
He bodged himself. He turned into a helicopter.
Or he, like, made a helicopter happen
Yeah.
and it sacrificed his
island
life
to the
force to do that.
But where's he gone then? He's gone into the world the helicopter came from.
Maybe.
Or he is the helicopter.
Sure.
Alex, anything you want to tell us about the experience you just had?
I mean, other than I felt like I'd taken on the part of me that was in that reality with the paddle steamer. So I felt like I was becoming...
Yeah.
Like I felt one side of my face feel really hot and sort of... I burnt some of my face.
So maybe Strat's gone to wherever he...
Possibly.
Did you feel like it was possible for you to, like, actually disappear into...
Yes, I think so.
Well, I mean, don't do that.
Well, no, I know, that's kind of... Yeah, it was...
Well, it's a way to get off the island.
It's one way.
I mean, true.
We don't know
Yeah.
where you'd end up, I
But
suppose.
maybe that's what Strat did. Okay, what do we want to do? I've just remembered also that I have this weird weapon from the spaceship,
Yeah.
Yep.
which I have not, really examined in any material way. So I don't know if I could try and do something with that, or if we just need to go back to the ship to do
And
that.
Alex's leg is messed up, so get into the ship.
It might be a bit of a challenge.
Well, your splint was really nice. So how good's my leg doing? Definitely wasn't broken. I've ascertained that, I think.
Well, you're no longer injured and your morale is back up. So
Yeah.
I'd say you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be limping a bit today, but it's
You can
I think
walk.
I can move it. Yeah.
Okay.
Where should we go?
Where should we go?
But, I mean, the thing with the spaceship is it's under the water. It's really annoying to try and get to.
Not if we can do something with it,
Yeah.
with our minds.
But Alex was touching it, so he'd have to swim down and do something.
I could do
Maybe.
that.
Or maybe we could do it together. Did you have a connection with it, do you think?
Well, I felt weird when we were at the lake.
We could go and give it a try.
Then we could all give it a try and see if we can bring it up out of the ground.
Okay.
Can I bodge something to help you guys when you're down there?
What,
Yeah.
a really big straw?
So, what's I'm thinking? I'm
Yeah.
thinking like maybe there's some bamboo
Hold
on
on.
the lake.
Maybe bamboo, or maybe we can change the paddle steamer into something that will allow us to go down underwater.
Into a scuba diving kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can change it into anything. Who knows?
I've just asked it a question to
Do you
show
want
us
to try? I have no affinity with the steamboat, but do you want to try and make it a submarine?
The submarine.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know if we
yeah.
can do that. Let's try.
Let's give it a go. Why not?
If not,
I mean-
bamboo.
Well, yeah, if not bamboo. So I'm gonna
Wait, hang on a second.
do the old.
How are we going to get it to the...
Yeah, I think
Lovely
submarines might not be. Maybe
Scuba.
gear that we can wear.
Some
Just
sort of
a tank,
snorkel.
like not yes.
Yeah. Just need oxygen tank.
Yeah. Not like flippers and wetsuits.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a crack.
All right.
Yeah.
Resolve and a +1 for your affinity.
So it's a +2. It's a pretty big roll.
Getting some things out of the way.
Let's get some things out of the way. That is an 11.
Doesn't even cost you anything.
Nice. You've got the hang of it now.
Yeah, having done it once, it actually comes weirdly easily this time as you place your hands on the paddle wheel. And once again, that sheen comes over it, and it's almost like it becomes it becomes soft and starts to turn into something pliable. And you shape it, and it resists you in some ways when you're imagining like scuba gear as you've seen it. It doesn't want to go into that shape, but it seems to know something similar, and you manage to shape it into it. It takes a shape and becomes solid, and unlike the Strat Phantom that kind of just melted into the floor, it takes on a shape and a texture and a solidity. The paddle wheel is now, there's only half of it left, and in front of you is, you know, those like big metal diving helmets.
Yeah, yes.
That like they sit on your shoulders, and they've got a hose coming out the top, and like the idea is that you just have it on and you just walk along the bottom with it weighing you down, and the air pipe coming to the surface.
It's an 1870s
Brilliant
diving kit from the Wild West. Stunning. Fantastic.
So it's kept in its own era.
Lovely old job. Okay. Cool.
Well, these are really heavy. Brilliant.
Yeah, we've got to lug these all the way out of the lake.
You've only got one.
Only got one.
Well, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we either carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Also, as you're discussing this, the wheel now definitely not balanced anymore. Tips, and the like bed pallets and piles of coconuts start to slide out of the shelter as it slams over, so that it's now a semicircle that is like a U shape.
We can't live there
and it kind of
anymore.
teeters and seesaws a bit before settling.
That's right, we're getting off
Okay.
the side of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to carry this diving helmet
We're going to go back to the lovely lake.
through the nice rocks.
Yeah.
Who's carrying the helmet?
Well, you've got a baddie leg.
Yeah.
So, not you.
Because I think it's heavy, and to carry it through this like rocky plain
It's going to take some resolve.
is going to be a feat of endurance. Yeah.
I have -1 resolve.
I've got one.
I think
I've
we
got
can,
0,
I
so-
think we can.
I'll do
like,
it.
We can all help carry it. It won't just be.
Well,
like
let's see how I do, shall we?
Is it carryable on?
I've been working out.
Yeah, it must be one person carryable,
Yeah,
because
it fits
you
on
wear
one
it,
person.
wouldn't you? So
Yeah. Are you carrying it by wearing it?
If there's is there a suit attached, or is it just the helmet?
No, it's
one
just
of
that
those.
it sits on the shoulders and it's the helmet around it, and the idea is that you wade into the water and the air trapped in it stays trapped
yeah.
to it.
No, I think I'm probably just carrying it, and then maybe I might put it on my head for a bit if that's easier. Okay.
All right, roll resolve.
And 1 for everyone is together.
Yeah.
4, 6.
Can I help?
Honestly,
I think
the
you
worst rolling. That's a fail, isn't it?
Yes, it is. How would you like to help?
I want to bodge her together like a bit of one of the pallets.
Okay.
A bit of rope so you can drag it
Oh yeah, nice.
behind you.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Well, instead of rolling morale, then roll intellect for a bodge.
Great.
Ooh, horrible failure.
I am not good at that.
No.
It's just a pallet and a bit of rope, but
I have a
fail.
feeling we are leaving this helmet behind.
You just tie a string to it, it's like an anchor.
And it's just like,
Before you can finish this sled, you run out of something vital.
Like bananas.
One of your resources is depleted. I think it probably is the food.
Yeah, no
Okay.
food. Yeah.
I'm starving and I just can't.
You got a breakfast, so
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
all hungry yet, but you like are kind of absent-mindedly snacking as you build this thing, and you realise that it's all gone.
Guys, I'm sorry. Does that mean that we're going to have to hunt before we go on, or I just can't?
Did
make
we cook
something?
all of the birds?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
ate all the
Yeah, all
birds
of
because they were
them.
little birds.
You
But we're going
had
to try and get some more bananas at the lovely lake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's loads of bananas at
With the
lovely lake.
stick.
And only one help attempt per roll, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that is it.
So
This helmet is.
It's too heavy.
It's just no. It's just a no.
you do take it with you, and you're
Yeah.
pretty sure that you can handle it. You're like, no, Ellen, I don't need that sled that you didn't finish making.
Because you're too busy snacking.
Yeah.
And the four of you set out across the plain, and Vikki, you are bravely carrying this thing, but it's too much, and it's going to cost you 1 morale. And you get to like the middle of the plain, and it's quite a nice day, and the sun is starting to come down, and you realise that it's cost you one already. Your arms are hurting.
Yeah.
You cannot carry this thing any further.
Yeah.
What you
Someone else going to
That's
carry
right,
it?
I'll start carrying it now.
We could just give up on it and get something better when we get to the lake.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. I feel like this is just more effort than it's worth.
I'm worried if we get there and die, we'd have to dive down to touch it, and what if we go all funny and drown?
No,
I don't know.
I can do it. I'm going to carry it.
Nelly.
I'm going to pick it up and start
Okay,
walking.
fine.
Cool.
Okay,
Here we go. Resolve. It's not great, but
Yeah.
it's more than a fail. It's 7.
Either you can't carry it, or you can carry it, but it'll cost you time, resources, or morale.
Oh my god.
I
this
will
is-
take some morale, please.
Okay,
Jesus. Just for a helmet.
but in which case you do it.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, all of you have underestimated the weight of this thing compared
Worse
to
than a
like
congreal, you guys.
your strength and how strong you are from like the small amounts of food that you like. You're not getting a balanced diet here.
It's true.
It's just bananas.
Yeah,
And the little birds.
Birds.
I mean, you know,
It's the double B diet.
birds and bananas.
It's my rap album.
Yeah.
Would listen.
so but you make it to the lovely lake with the diving helmet. Vikki and Dave both looking exhausted
Yeah.
from carrying it. Lava bursts over the top of the mesa.
Time to go.
I'm the island and the island is me.
I try as we run. I want to. I'm going to sing us all a song to try and get your morale all back.
Nice.
Amazing.
I'm going to sing "Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me sing the springs up to panorama. In other words, please be true. In other words, make us and let me sing forevermore." Just run and sing.
Yeah,
and try and get your
you can
morale
only do
up.
this for one person at once. I suggest
Josh, yeah. Is this plus my morale?
Yes.
That is an 8. That's a 10.
Hey, Josh. You gain 1 morale as well, Chris, for a 10, if you're not already at full.
I'm full.
Okay, Josh. In which case, Josh, you can gain 2.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing.
Back to full, and I start singing along as well in the marathon. He always
Dancing as you go.
so good. Tap 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 step will change, split leap. And I dash ahead as I often do.
You pelt through the terrain.
My arm feels so much better.
This is actually so the copter is hovering over sort of where the beach meets the cliffs. So this is actually unknown territory.
Oh god.
No.
Oh no.
So
Listen to my instincts.
what terrain do we think we're running into?
At this point, I mean,
This is like the
from
rocky
cliff.
How about like old lava fields?
Kind of Icelandic style,
Yeah.
black,
Yeah,
rock,
black
obsidian.
Yeah.
Sharp. I haven't got any shoes on.
Oh god. Didn't make the most amazing sound in this rock.
Yeah, really would do. Yeah.
At baseline, I think this is about endurance. This is about trying to run full pelt, being pursued by a rushing tide of lava to get to the chopper before you're consumed. So I think this is going to be a resolve roll. If anybody's got a different way that they think they're going to tackle this issue,
I
then
have
I will
one.
hear it. Yes.
From my 2 failures, I picked up a new move called Hold the Pass.
Nice.
When I take on danger, I can take on danger alone, so my fellow survivors don't have to.
What would that look like in this situation?
I don't know, because I am a man running in his pants. Bits of broken bottle in my back. I mean, what is the immediate danger from the terrain to get to the chopper?
Well, the immediate danger is the lava flow coming behind you.
So, I don't know if I can make this work. I really want to, but there's no way of me sort of stemming the tide of the lava, pulling down.
I want this to work.
Me too.
I want you to be able to do this move. I think
too.
maybe there's
Like a rock formation you can kick over and it's like
I was thinking
that's what I
like
was
pulling
thinking.
branches
Yeah.
and sort of trees.
I'm thinking about water, whether there's any water around that you could divert onto the lava.
Yeah,
in
is
order to
there
cool it.
like a dam close
Maybe.
by, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely
Close to
not
the
a man-made
lava?
one, but
No.
like a natural
beaver dam
that you think you could pull some?
Because, I mean, ultimately, the lake that I saw earlier has to drain into the sea somewhere. So could there be a river that has run down towards them and then go over the cliffs from the waterfall?
Absolutely.
Maybe we can like knock maybe there's like something that we can block up the river with so that it overflows the banks and might slow it down.
It's got to be something that happens really quick.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it might be like a waterfall that comes out, so there's lots of force coming out of it.
Yeah. So it might be just like a series of large rocks or something that I'm able to just kind of at least pull one away so the force of the banks overflow in an attempt to make sure these guys don't have to run.
Roll resolve.
Oh dear.
Sure.
So just to confirm with everybody, if I roll 10 or above, I face the danger myself on my own terms and you guys get away scot-free. On a 7 and above, I face the danger alone, but not on my own terms. You guys get to flee. If I roll 6 or below, it escalates for everybody. So this is Hail Mary moment to try and be a hero and not fail. So I'm rolling 2d6 for those of you that are at home, and I'm adding a +1 to my resolve. I'm not evading danger, so I don't get any other, while moving silently, so I don't get any other bonuses. Let's roll the dice. Oh, I'm afraid that's only a 7.
Not a 6.
Not a 6. So I face the dangers alone. These guys get out of harm's way, but I'm not doing it on my own terms.
You face it on the back foot. Can we roleplay this out? What do you say? How do you signal to these three that you want them to keep running while you stay behind and do
So I've sort of sprinted ahead. My legs were all fine. It was only my arm that was dodgy. So I've still got a lot of adrenaline coursing through. And being the marathon runner that I am, I sort of take a bit of a sprint off ahead, and I see up to my left the river that runs down, which will eventually kick out into the ocean, and I see a collection of rocks that form one side of the bank of the river, and the river is deep and sort of rushing through from the jungle down to the sea, and so I get the feeling that if I were able to dislodge some of the river banks, some of them are already overflowing, then it will cause enough of a flood for the water to drain down, cooling off the lava momentarily, allowing us an escape. That's how I see my heroic plan.
Okay, and how do you signal to these three? Do you say anything?
Well, I've run off ahead and I just kind of look behind, and I've already used the get to the chopper line, which I'm really upset about, so I just kind of point in the direction of where we know the helicopter is, and I just say, go, run,
fly, you fool,
go.
The three of you just see that look in Josh's eyes that you've started to come to know.
Yeah.
Not the three of us.
Not three. Two of us.
Josh.
Oh, the two of you. Oh, I forgot.
And I run up the banks of the hill and I yell, wild card, baby. I am the island is me.
All right, Starkey, come on.
Okay.
We can make this. Think of Clive.
Clive.
Think of Clive.
Clive. Yes. To Clive.
To Clive.
You two make it to the chopper. Josh is successful in diverting or slowing the tide enough for you to give you the chance you need to make it there. Josh, you pull some rocks out of place. The enough water runs onto the volcanic plain in order to slow the flow of the lava. But you, in your relief, panting with exertion, you find that your plan has worked, but you're now trapped. You're now on a single bit of land, raging river on one side, boiling lava on the other side. You can feel the heat coming off it. There's nowhere it's safe for you to go. And the chopper seems like it's trying to head your way, but the air currents above the lava are just too much and it can't stay steady.
Josh! I've got the rope ready to throw, like the line ready to throw out, but it's just not getting close enough.
So yeah, Nat and Starkey, you can see that Josh is on this now rapidly shrinking little patch of land. You've been listening to Merely Roleplayers. In this season, Vikki, Dave, Ellen, Alex, Nat, Strat, Starkey and Josh all play themselves, sort of, in a game designed and run by Matt. Like most of our games, this one's powered by the Apocalypse. You can find more games in this genre at apocalypse-world.com/pbta. If you enjoy the programme, Let us know with a review or rating on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Listen Notes, or wherever you do your listening. You can also find us on Twitter @merelyroleplay and at facebook.com/merelyroleplayers. Merely Roleplayers is an independent production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Join us for more drama next episode.